Yo, yo, yo. What is the dealio, y'all? What's the dealio? How everybody feeling? How y'all feeling? If y'all tapping in, be sure to like the video, right? Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Okay? What up, what up? Marquin, what up, Marquin? He said those inauguration day presidential patterns on the monthlies. Looks like we're getting that exactly, right? Real talk. We got a lot of I wanted to make sure I did that video because it's important to understand the patterns of who you got to know who you're dealing with, right? You got to know who you're dealing with. And so we got to be able to look at the history to kind of see what those patterns are, right? So yeah. So QTZ, what's up? What's up? What's up, Shally? So look, this video gonna be a little bit shorter, right? It's gonna be a little bit shorter, so I don't want to waste time. I just want to let people jump on in real quick before we get started. All right, what's up, Pamela? How you doing? Adam, what's up? Ready for snow? Ooh wee, man. I used to live in Germany, and it snowed crazy. I can't do the snow. I cannot do the snow. Drez, what up? How y'all feeling? All right, y'all. So we gonna get started. Um, so first things first, right? The market dropped crazy. IWM went silly. I gave you guys that that outline yesterday for today, and it worked out to the downside. Um, we're gonna go over SPY and IWM like we do every day, but I gave you guys all of that, so there's no reason why you guys shouldn't have made money, right? If you paid attention to last night's charting and you got the levels at open, you could have made money in the whole day, right? We just dropped. We came up, dropped, came up, dropped, came up, dropped, right? So I hope that you guys really, really, really took advantage of those levels and you took advantage of what we saw because it was so many opportunities to the downside, right? So if you guys are just hopping in, like this video, right, and then be sure to drop in the comments, the chats where you guys are tuning in from. All right. So let's go to the charts, and then we're going to go over SPY, IWM. All right. So, all right, perfect. So this is the charts. 1 second. So, all right. So we have the charts. We got the SPY right here, okay? So it looks like it's curling right here, creating a little double bottom on the 30-minute. But if we go to the daily time frame, because that's how we're gonna analyze, look at what happened, right? You see what I put right here? I said puts below 674.11, right? Look at that. Look at that right there. 674.11, it triggered, drops, comes all the way down to 668. And I talked about this 668 area earlier this week, right? So this right here was a banger of a move. I don't if you didn't get a piece of today, you probably beating yourself up when you look back because you like, dang, the whole market just dropped and I didn't get none of that. I've had those days, right? But we got to make sure that we're being sharp, right? We're being sharp. So, and then the IWM, I had it written down. I took it off my charts, but I had said, I have it mapped out here. I said yesterday, what did I say? What did I say? I said, this is the level that we want to pay attention to, right? Remember this? If you remember this, then drop it in the chat. Yesterday I said, this is the area we got to pay attention to. I said, if we get below 244, it was like 39, we coming down, right? And look what happened. We opened below it. We opened below it, tried to come up, and then look what happened. It just sank, okay? It just sank. Crazy, right? And then it dropped, and then look what happened. Whoop, came all the way down to 240. And what is that? That is the support, right? As you can see right here. That is the support, right? So I gave you guys those levels yesterday for IWM, right? And look what happened. Oh my goodness, you could have changed your life. All right, so let's go to SPY real quick and then IWM. So for both of them tomorrow, the low of day, and we got this, so we got a fair value gap right here, okay? Plus the low of day right here. So if you want to take SPY to the downside, I'm gonna give you guys two levels. What's up, Lola? How you doing? I'm gonna give you guys two levels, 668.71. Okay. Puts below. All right. 668.71. And then you're gonna have this level right here at 667.85. All right. So this is a level. If you get in on puts here, there's going to be a level here it could reject and bounce. If it breaks below that, then we're going to be coming lower. All right. Now we got to the upside. So we might try to retrace this candle right here and try to retest 677. Right? So, but we're at 672 right now. So we go to the 4 hour, and I'm gonna say calls above I'll say calls above 675.10. All right. And then we could come up here and retest this order block right here. Okay, so calls above 675.10, puts below 674.11. No, this, no, yeah, actually, because that's off the daily. All right, that's off the daily right there. No, this was yesterday. Yeah, this was from yesterday. My bad, that threw me off. That was from yesterday. Puts it below 668.71. All right, but when we're looking at the 4 hour, okay, when we're looking at the 4 hour time frame, that's where I got my level from. Calls above 675.10. All right, so that's what we're looking at on IWM. What's up, Angela? What up, Best Beezy? All right, so now IWM. IWM has a crazy bar, right? So we're right back in this area once again, right? Once again, we are right back in this area. We've been in this area for the past, what? The past 3 weeks? Yeah, almost a month now. We've been in this area, right? So tomorrow we could come down here to fill this gap. I have been talking about this gap, right? I've been talking about this gap for the past week, right? So what I'm going to say is we're going to say puts below 239.98. Puts below 239.98. All right. Let me know if this is making sense, y'all. Right? Let me know if this is all making sense. And if you guys are tuning in, let me know where you guys are tuning in from in the comments, and be sure to like this video as well. All right, I'm giving you guys levels to make money with in the market as early as tomorrow. All right, giving you entries, giving you support and resistances. Okay, so IWM puts below 239.98. Now, if we decide to go to the upside, I would say if we get above 242.19, you can enter in the calls, and I'm gonna give you the next level as well. Calls above 242.13. All right, and then the next resistance level is going to be 243 flat. All right. So calls above 242.13, and then the next level is going to be 243. If we get above 243, then we clear to come back up to 245. All right. But what we could do is, we could come up to 243 and then reject and then come down and fill this gap down here. All right. That is a possibility of what we could do as well. So keep that in mind. Keep those levels on your radar. 242.12, 13, and then we got 243. Right? Those are the levels. All right. Let me know if that makes sense, y'all. Let me know if that makes sense. If that makes sense, drop that in the chat. All right. I want to make sure that I'm being clear. All right. And also, like this video if you haven't already. Okay. What's up, Britt? How you doing? All right. Next thing we about to do, we are about to look at setups for tomorrow. Now, tomorrow can be bearish. It can be bullish. It's also Friday. I want you guys to keep that in mind. It's Friday. So what they like to do on Fridays is they like to rally or have a bloody day, because so this week we've had two red days and 2 green days. So tomorrow is a tiebreaker, right? Tomorrow is going to be the tiebreaker. We had green on Monday, red on Tuesday, green on Wednesday, and red on Thursday. That's what has happened, right? And in my video earlier today, I was talking about, with Donald Trump, I'm talking about the kangaroo market, right? Stocks going up and they going down. And it's like, now what I want to say is, so the question is, why did the market come down today? Right? Why did the market come down today? Right? With study, I found out exactly why. And this is a lesson for you in the future, right? To keep this in mind. It's about market structure, okay? So watch this. We're going to go to the charts and I'm going to show you guys exactly why the market came down and why it was a bull trap, right? So watch this. Excuse me. Okay, right? So we got SPY. Now let's go to the daily. If you look at SPY on the daily time frame, right? Watch this. We gapped. We were here, right? We opened up here at 285 and we closed here, right? So we closed at 683. We gapped down, right? We gapped down, right? But the high of the day was here, right? Because SPY did not close above this high, that's why we came down. That's why we came down. The SPY needed to close above this candle right here, right? No, this candle right here. So on this day, even though it's a bullish 3-bar, there was a lot of selling pressure and it did not close above this high from the gap down. So it did not fully recover, right? And that's why it ended up coming down the next day. All right, let me know if that makes sense. This is powerful, powerful information, right? This is powerful information when you really understand what's going on, right? And that's why a stock like Google this stock didn't like sell off hard today because this didn't happen, right? It didn't gap down super crazy and then not recover. But this stock, SPY, didn't close above where it gapped down from, and that's why it came down. All right? So, when you understand those small nuances, that's what's going to help you be able to get better, do better, be better, and make more money in the market. All right? So, now let's go to some setups for tomorrow. All right? She loves, see, what's up? What's up? How you doing? So let's go for some setups to tomorrow. All right, so turn this off real quick. And why it makes sense. Okay, D Goods. And let me say this too. A lot of times when the market is red, it's gonna be a lot less content about the stock market, right? Because people lost money, right? People lose money. You know, their investments are down on the day. They're not feeling good, stuff like that, right? But I want you guys to know and understand, if the market is green, red, blue, purple, I'm going to be showing up, all right? And we're going to analyze and assess what's going on in the market so we can figure out the direction, all right? So yeah. I haven't been able to hold my trades. I've been making the right plays, but I always get shooken out. What's some advice? Get advice, I know this. I mean, yeah, you gotta, listen, it's your psychology. That's what it is, you know? Most people don't want to hear that. It's your psychology. Why are you not holding on to trades longer, right? Why are you getting shooken out? It's your psychology, right? This is why trading is so spiritual and it's a journey, because you got to really understand, like, why you doing what you're doing. You making all the decisions, right? So it's not about the charts and no woo-woo stuff. It's about what's your psychology, right? That's the truth, right? I'm only going to keep it real with y'all. So it's like, it's your psychology. You got to go on a psychological journey of becoming a better person, and that's going to make you a better trader. I'm not saying you a bad person, but what I am saying is your psychology is everything when it comes down to trading, because that's what makes you make decisions. All right. So you want some advice? That's the best thing I can say to you. You got to tap in right here. All right. You got to tap in right here. You got to become a better person. You got to become more aware and cognizant of who you are and why you doing what you're doing. And what's your relationship with money? Are you afraid to lose money? All right. This is real life stuff here. This ain't no play and stuff like that, right? This ain't about getting in a trade and getting out of a trade, right? This is about changing your life on a level that you probably can't even understand yet, right? So it's like, let the stock market, you know, show you what you need to change within yourself and change it, and that's what's gonna help you stay in trades longer, right? And this is real life stuff. So I ain't being mean or rude, but I want you to understand what the truth is. All right. So, so let's go to some setups real quick. All right, for tomorrow, Friday, we're gonna finish the week off. All right. So here's what we got. All right. Cool. All right. He's like, I got scared out of my position and it was all on me, everything lined up right down to the entry point. Yeah. I mean, it happens every day, right? That's the journey, right? The market gonna take some money away from you, right? And then you're gonna get your get back sometimes, and then you're gonna start getting consistent if you aren't already. But at the end of the day, it's all about the psychology, right? And on my small account challenge, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by this as well, right? So I'm gonna break down that whole, because I'm in some swing trades right now that are down bad, and it was making my small account look real bad, right? So I'm gonna talk about that, not getting shaken out of your position, right? So for sure. All right. So we got what up, Swift 22nd? So we got Nvidia, right? I'm gonna look at Nvidia to the downside, y'all. Nvidia could be coming down to 178. So on Nvidia, I'm bearish continuation. All right. And I would say if it breaks low of days, take an entry. Shopify, I think Shopify could be coming down too. We do have buyers right here, but that's what we got on Shopify. Uber looks like they're trying to come up again, right? Look like they're trying to come up again. If I look at the 4 hour, yeah, I would just say for Uber, they're on a failed 2 down again. So they're trying to come up. So I'll say Uber failed 2 down. All right. All right. Boom. And then we got applied. Looks like it could be coming down as well, but no crazy setup. A lot of these things I'm going to be looking for continuations. Google, they could be coming back down, but there's a lot of buyers in this area right here. So I'm going to chill off of them. Hims look like they might be trying to bounce. Roblox, Palantir. Palantir could start to come up tomorrow once they come down to about 170, right? Once they come down to about 170. Carvana. What's slow, Marquin? What's slow? Dell. I'm going to look at Dell to the downside. Hell yeah. I'm going to look at Dell to come down to about 144 tomorrow. So I'm going to look at Dell. 3 bar. All right. We got Nike. Uber. Oh yeah, Uber. Yeah. Uber is definitely slow. So Affirm just had earnings, so I'm gonna look at Affirm. They gapped up pretty nice. So Affirm earnings play. We gonna see, they might sell off at open, or they might trend for the day. So we gonna see. AMD, I'm gonna look at AMD to the downside. We got a little bit more of this gap to go. We got about $4. So we got AMD to the downside. Continuation. All right. SoFi. SoFi got a 3 bar bearish, so I'm gonna do SoFi. 3-bar, bearish. All right. Lyft had a nice day today. They had earnings. Let me see where they at. So Lyft, they sold off after, so we'll see. I'll see what Lyft looks like in pre-market. Circle, CoreWeave. CoreWeave could be coming down some more, for sure. Meta, Tesla, CrowdStrike, Adobe, Webull, 963. Amazon had a crazy day. I'm gonna look at Amazon to the downside continuation. All right. The thing about Amazon, I promise you, Amazon ain't just gonna drop down and fill the gap like how we think it is. It could do that, but what I've seen is when stocks be having these big gap fills, it be taking about 3 to 4 weeks to fill it, right? So I know it looks like it's coming down now, but we could come down to like 240 and then bounce up and try to retest up here, and then we could come down, right? Because if you look at Oracle, look what happened. They gapped up from 242 all the way to 321, and they gapped up. This was on September 9th. We're in November, right? So that's almost 2 months it took to come down and fill this gap, right? This was a $100 gap right here. So when we go back to Amazon, we have 227 to 240. So we got $20 more. So we could really, it could take maybe like 3 weeks or so to fill the gap, but it could just sink, right? We got to see, but that's just something to think about. Yeah, pay attention to SPY, Angie, for sure. Right, pay attention to the market. Intel look like they want to come down there on a 3-bar, a bearish 3-bar, right? All right. Okay, LO, SMCI, PanW, Oracle, VRT, Alibaba, MRK, Starbucks. Yeah, Starbucks look like it's probably about to dip, come down. If Starbucks gets below 81.48, it's a wrap. 81.48, they made a lower high right here. So Starbucks to the downside. All right, we got Celsius. They made a nice move today to the downside, had earnings. Google, again, Marvell. Right here, they might be coming down. AVGO, they probably coming down. SoundHound. XYZ, they had a, man, $70. So they just had earnings. They had a report, that's what it is. Yeah, they had a report. Some bad report came out. And so they're at $70 right now. Let's see where they're at in after hours. XYZ, they are at $62. So they're down 11% after hours. So yeah. So they're at $62. So they could be coming down. Yeah, I mean, if they sell off more, they're coming down the $55 area, but they're already down here. So we got to see what happens tomorrow with XYZ. So I'm going to actually pay attention to them. Okay. All right. What else we got? Delta Airlines, ARM, they got a bearish 3-bar. Apple look like they want to come down. DoorDash had a crazy day today. IBM had a green day. Oh, look what FedEx did. They hit my target on the watch list. Yeah, they did their thing. In the midst of all of this, they in the uptrend. XOM, UNH. Robinhood had a crazy day. Robinhood could come down to like 115 potentially, but yeah, Robinhood could come down some more too. So MU, I like MU puts again off of this reversal right here. So I like MU puts as well. Who else we got? Caterpillar, RGTI, they came down. Reddit came down pretty bad. So yeah, so really what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be paying attention to all my 3-bars. So Dell is gonna be my high priority right here. Dell and Intel, right? So I'm gonna look at IWM, Dell, and Intel. So IWM, obviously we talked about them. Then we got Dell. They got a bearish 3-bar right here, right? On a daily, they could come down to freaking 137. So I'm gonna be looking at them tomorrow as well. All right. And then Intel, we got a 3-bar here. We got an order block down in here to $35. So I'll be looking at Intel to come down also to $35 tomorrow potentially if we have another red crazy day. All right. So that's what we got today. So this is what I do every night, y'all, right? If I wasn't on live, I'd be doing this. I go through all my stocks. I go through my list. I find my strat setups. I put them on my list. And then the next morning when pre-market is grooving, then I'll be able to look at to see what setups match the setups that I was looking at last night. All right. So can you explain the 1, 2, 3 candles? I'm new to your lives. Started watching yesterday. Appreciate that. What I would say is go to my strat videos. Just if you get on your desktop, your laptop, whatever, go to my YouTube page and type in STRAT. Okay. Because that explains it all, right? I'm getting ready to get off, but go watch my strat videos and then that will explain everything. All right. Did you look at Tesla? No, I didn't look at Tesla really. Yeah, I didn't look at Tesla, but they're on a bearish 3-bar. So I would just look at them to the downside below low of days for today. All right. Absolutely. So listen, y'all, like I always say, make sure you get up out your head, get into this world because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right. And also remember, the more you study, the less you worry. All right. I'm going to hop off. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow on tomorrow's YouTube video. All right. Let's finish the week strong. Don't make no crazy decisions. Let's get this money. All right. Be sure to join the Discord if you have not already, and I'm going to see you in there. All right. Y'all stay smooth, and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Peace.